Sorry?
Yes, welcome to the Edward Fowler Show here on this lovely Sunday evening, or here in, of course, in the afternoon in Las Vegas and Los Angeles and places like that. So welcome along to our lovely studios this evening again. And before we get into tonight's show, just want to say, if you want to see exciting interviews with different people all the time, could really bring out the best in people and always contacting different people every single day, then subscribe to this channel because you won't be missed and you can see who we've had on the show in the past and the present as well. And we're delighted to welcome along the second referee to come on this year in 2020 on this channel. He is a referee in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's right, we had to tell me in Las Vegas now. He referees for Fruits of Stars Wrestling and Big Valley Wrestling and some other companies as well in Las Vegas. But those are two main companies he referees for. Welcome along to Beyond, because I know a few years ago we tried to set this up and we couldn't make it work, but I'm glad we were able to make it work this time.
So am I. Today it's just me getting up, just waking up. It's WrestleMania day, so kind of trying to get in the mood of WrestleMania, considering everything. But yeah, I mean, out here it's kind of just trying to live one day at a time, considering everything, you know.
Yes. Well, hopefully not too long before hopefully things go back to the norm and you'll be back in the ring. As you said on another podcast last year, shouting at people and ordering what to do.
Yeah.
Because
I miss it around like a ragdoll.
Well, let's get into it then, and let's talk to you about your time in both FSW and Big Valley Wrestling. What enticed you to join those companies? I'm guessing you joined FSW to train there firstly, I'm guessing. And then you branched out of FSW to other promotions, including Big Valley Wrestling. So what made you to get into pro wrestling and why train at FSW?
So I started in January of 2018, and I started at Snake Pit Academy. Trainers there are Sin Bodie, D'Lo Brown, Jake the Snake Roberts, and I was training there about 3 to 4 months. And in August, we combined and we became one school with Future Stars Wrestling. And they have Kenny King, Disco Inferno. They even have a lot of junior coaches, all these other just seminars, talent just coming in and out of that school. And we just, everything started from there. And I started refereeing there, I would say maybe a few months after that, and just had the blast, best time of my life. Big Valley Wrestling, I actually started around the same time.
Interesting.
yeah, there was a lot going on there, and I just was like, hey, might as well expand my depth of refereeing and see what I can do. And I've been lucky enough to referee a lot of great matches there, as well as FSW, and both of them just have been a blast being a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. And you also said as well that one of your goals, maybe might be on your goals, but you said that you've got the opportunity to referee every title I believe, in every promotion in Las Vegas. What an achievement that is, and was that always the goal, or was it just happened by mistake?
It kind of happened by mistake. I mean, when I started training, I had the idea that I wanted to wrestle. And during my time, I got injured, all that, and I did what I could with what I was good at, and that was being a ref. And so I just stuck with it so that way I could be around with wrestling while I was injured, and it just became something I loved to do. And next thing I know, I was being able to referee title matches in FSW, Big Valley Wrestling versus Pro Wrestling, and pretty soon I noticed, okay, I think I've refereed at least every title there is in Las Vegas. And it's been a pretty surreal experience to say that barely 2 years into refereeing that I've been able to do that all around Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's a huge accomplishment in a matter of just under 2 years. It's great. It's fantastic. So kudos to you. And I wonder what would be your next achievement next. Maybe debuting on national TV or something, maybe, because you have been on national TV before. Maybe not in the way you wanted to be on national TV, but you got every around the world, not just in America, saw that. People here in the UK saw that. People don't have a clue who you are. And just to put on the record, don't know who may be watching this, by the way. This is the guy who got choked out by Killer Kross on Impact Wrestling last year, who is now signed to WWE. Again, apparently he's been signed to NXT, but people think he's going to go straight to the Reign roster. Who knows? But he is a bit WWE now. And what was that moment like, just being choked out by Killer Kross? Because you tried to put a fight up. You tried to dangle your legs to the ropes, but it didn't go your way. What was the reaction after that?
It was definitely a unique experience to be able to be on Impact, let alone be in the ring with Johnny Impact and Killer Kross. Man, he is huge. He is a big human being compared to me, and you could see it right there on footage. Him just literally his arms wrapped around my throat, like, dude's no joke. So, and he started at Future Stars Wrestling, so it's pretty cool to see somebody from our school start there and in such little time develop this cult following, no pun intended, and bring it to a main stage like WWE.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty surreal experience.
I bet it was, and as you say as well, somebody from Las Vegas, Nevada, from FSW, making it to the big time, from a nobody to making his own name in pro wrestling with the help of Impact and MLW, to now making it big in WWE, which is great. And hopefully, if things go back to normal, since we can't talk about if it was normal, then we can say, okay, who do you think would be the top star in the next coming months? But we can't really say it because we don't know when things will go back to normal.
Well, hopefully when the apocalypse ends. There's honestly so much talent at Future Stars Wrestling. There's one guy who's doing Impact Wrestling now. I've been able to officiate a lot of his matches. Chris Bay, he just signed with Impact Wrestling, I think, over a month ago.
Correct.
And, he's been in the game for about 2-3 years, and he's been killing it. He's been doing fantastic things. And before everything went sideways, I was actually lucky enough to be the official for his Impact World Championship match with Tessa Blanchard. We had a show out here for ToyCon, and it was Tessa Blanchard versus Chris Bay Impact World Championship, and I was grateful enough to be able to officiate that and be able to referee for the Impact World title.
Yeah, and again, what a moment that is. One of the great championship bouts in history, and of course, as you said as well, multiple times in your social medias and on other platforms, you've said that you've always watched Impact for many years, and you get to be on TV with them and to referee their world title as well, which is great. And I'm gonna guess, was that a pay-per-view? Was that a pay-per-view on Fight TV? I know there was a show on Fight TV, I think maybe a few weeks ago, even last month, which was on Fight TV from FSW.
Yeah, we had the Mecca, and that actually was, I was actually lucky enough, that was my second time being to officiate a Tessa Blanchard match. And
Nice.
She wrestled our women's champion, Lacey Ryan. And so that was honestly a really, really great match. I was lucky enough to be able to call that match. And literally, I would say possibly one of the matches of the year. Like, they tore the house down. And somebody like Lacey Ryan, another star in the making, like, she's been on Impact. She just had a match, I believe, with Kira Hogan. And she literally killed it. She's doing great things. She's wrestling in LA, all around the West Coast.
Nice.
And she's doing big things.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed we see more of her on TV, not just in the US, but global TV, like in the UK as well. In Impact, maybe MLW. Maybe even involve AEW as well. Who knows? Because I know a goal of yours would be love to be on one of the main companies. So we wish you luck with that. And which one would you choose if you get the opportunity to if both reached out to you at once? Which one would you choose, or would you not mind which one it was?
Honestly, I'm not a picky person. I love wrestling in a whole, so it's one of those things. If I was granted the opportunity to be a part of whatever company that chose me, I would just be grateful. I know, like last year, I was supposed to be a part of that first AEW show, Double or Nothing, that was out here in Las Vegas.
Yes. And it's been to come back, wasn't it, this year as well? But I don't think that's going to happen now, unfortunately, because I'm looking forward to the second contender year, because I love Las Vegas, and the crowd were crazy, excited throughout that whole Double or Nothing show. It was great to see so many great talents a part of that. What a shame you can't be a part of it, however, but I do hope you do get to be a part of it at some point in Las Vegas or somewhere else.
I was supposed to be a part of it last year. I had a prior commitment, so I couldn't make it, and I still kicked myself, but life happens. And I was looking forward to being able to be a part of this year's Double or Nothing, but unfortunately, some things are out of our control, and hopefully when all this turns, the apocalypse ends and everything goes back to normal, we will be able to pick up our daily routines and get back to the love of pro wrestling.
Yes, absolutely. And I have to say as well, one of my guests who were on there way back in January, before COVID-19 was that big of a thing, he actually was at an AEW taping or something. He took a photo on his Instagram a few weeks ago of him at AEW. That was Jumbo Zamor, who was on the show a few months ago. He wrestles for Rocky Mountain Pro in Denver, Colorado. He was on the show back in January, and he got an opportunity at AEW. So we look forward to seeing your picture of yourself with AEW with all the great guys, because you've had some of their talent in Las Vegas in the past, and even as well. Who are some of your favorite moments which you've enjoyed so far, being a part of some of these big fight fields in Las Vegas? Because people think of Las Vegas not a very popular place to come and wrestle in, but over the past few years it's shown that actually Las Vegas is the place to be for some of these exciting talents from for the future, and people, and the ones which are already well known on TV come and wrestle now in Las Vegas. Before, a few years ago, there wasn't a big buzz about it, was there? But now there is, I think.
Yeah, I feel like right now, or before everything happened, I feel like wrestling is just on the peak. Like it's as big as it's ever. Like I feel like it's as hot as it's ever going to be right now, and it's only gonna get better. And like I've been so lucky enough to come into contact with so many stars that you see on your TV. I've been able, before everything happened, I've gotten the opportunity to referee for Michael Elgin, Tom Lawler,
Yes,
Lance
Filthy
Hoyt.
Tom. Yeah. Absolutely. Who else did you say? Sorry for interrupting you, by the way.
I'm sorry?
I apologize for interrupting you. You mentioned another
No,
person.
you're fine. Yeah, Lance Hoyt. I got to referee his match at FSW, and that's the one thing that I do appreciate so much about being at Future Stars Wrestling is we always have the opportunity. We have so many stars come in and out into Future Stars Wrestling. We just had Michael Elgin, I believe, signed at Future Stars Wrestling right before everything happened.
Oh no.
We've had TJP do shows at our company. So many stars have come in and out of Future Stars Wrestling, and it's insane of the options that there are for matches. We just had Chris Masters, so many people.
Yeah,
I literally can't name it off the top of my head. That's how many stars are.
I know, and I feel like FSW and it's not getting the credit they deserve. It's like they're being all these awesome people, but I feel like there's not enough buzz about them on social media and in general. Many people not knowing about FSW being all these exciting people, because I don't think there's another company out there really who bring in all these wrestlers from TV, or who've not been on TV for a few years but still doing independent bookings, not being, what's the word, giving that exposure really outside FSW, I believe. But that's my opinion anyway. Again, I don't know what you think about that. But what I was going to say as well is you've got a funny relationship with Funny Bone, don't you, as well, in both FSW and in Big Value Wrestling. For some reason, he likes to knock you around. For instance, at one of the Mecha shows, I think it was Mecha 4, I think. I could be wrong about that. It was him. I can't remember. It was him against Nick Cage from GCW. Yeah. And you got knocked around, and then Sim Bodie came out, and that's when Funny Bone decided to, I think it was DDT you or something, and then threw you out the ring, kind of thing. And then in BBW, I believe he gave you a low blow, and then he did this finisher removal on you. But I mean, what's this bizarre relationship you've got with this Funny Bone guy? He's very out of control, unpredictable kind of guy, isn't he?
Funny Bone is a very interesting character. It's ironic because my first ever main event that I got to referee was a Lucha Libre show in 2018, and it was Funny Bone and Sin Bodie.
Of course, those two, man. Them two are unpredictable.
Yeah. Just both of them in the ring, whether they're teaming up or opponents, it's just it's a very unique feeling, but scary at the same point.
Yes.
And so I've literally been in the ring with him a handful of times where I'm either on his bad side, which is very often, or I'm on his good side, which is very strange. And so I have been on both ends. And I actually, our 10th anniversary show for Future Stars Wrestling was in June of 2019, and it was a Heaven or Hell match between Sin Bodie and Funny Bone, and I was lucky enough to officiate that. Man, just thinking about it gives me chills. Like, that match was intense. Like, there was thumbtacks, Legos, a coffin, and that match literally was pretty much just havoc, chaos, and it was really, really cool to be a part of. It was scary, but it was cool considering, months ago, I like you said, I was in the ring with Funny Bone and Sin Bodhi, and one punched me in the face, and then one dropped me on my head.
Yeah.
And then I'm supposed to be the official for this match, and I'm like, all right, well, if they wanted to, they could kill me. It's a all-goes match. So, but yeah, I literally am lucky enough to be in the ring with both of them when they're not trying to murder me. So.
Now, also, I want to know this as well, because the footage didn't show it because they edited it out and they edit the aftermath what happened. So at some point we will get to you. Don't worry. I mentioned it in the description below. But so after the match, you end up on the stage. Now, did you go up there yourself, or did one of the wrestlers in the ring beat you up more and dragged you to the top of the stage? How did that all fall out?
I believe you're talking about the one where I got DDT'd, right?
Yes, I think it's the same match we're talking about between Nick Gage and Funny Bone, I think.
Yes, Nick Gage actually dragged me up on the stage, I believe, after the match.
Why?
And just he was pissed. He was pissed off at me, just like Funny Bone. Everybody hated me, man. I was just trying to do my job and officiate the match, and they weren't having it. And I guess after the match, he was a little sore and just decided he wasn't done putting the heat on me, and just was pissed off at me and just dragged me by my neck. So yeah, man, Nick Gage is he's scary.
He is scary. Yeah, he's dangerous as well.
Oh man, I was literally worried for my life. So if I never have to be in the ring with him again, man, it's scary.
Has he come back yet? I think he's been back a few times like that, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been here in Las Vegas a few times, and I tried to
avoid him.
Heed with caution. So yes. Yeah, he's been back in Las Vegas a few times.
Gotcha. That's good to hear. I know it's a long trip for him because he's like I think it's on the East Coast. I think he lives on. So
yeah, CW.
Yeah, so it's quite a long drive, or a long flight, depending how you say it. So that's good. I just wanted to clear up because I was just wondering. I seen the picture of the show, and then I saw the show actually as well on Fight TV. Which is still available on the FSW Future Stars Wrestling Mecca 4 if you want to see that instant. I saw the photos and I wasn't really sure how you go there, so I thought, why not ask you that? Why you on the show? Anyway, so let's talk to you about then BBW, Big Body Wrestling. They had a great year in 2019 as well. They've done a lot of things. They celebrated their 5th year of being a company, wasn't it, last year as well, and done some great great stuff for the local community as well, which is really good. And then to cap it off, they went on Twitch.tv with a brand new production company, I believe it is, I'm not sure, called Ringside Productions. You can find it on Twitch.tv. There's no videos on there at the moment because, of course, videos are only on there for 14 days before Twitch removed them. But they put this show together on Twitch.tv. A great three matches it was. We had a great tag team match on there, which I believe featured, I should know this because I did watch it on there, but you can correct me on any of these I get these wrong. It featured Ricky, I can't remember, I don't know how you say his last name, but I'm going with Ricky against Big Dirty for the BBW Heavyweight Championship. What a match
Ricky
that was.
Snakes.
That was it, yeah. It's horrible singing at the start, I had to say. Not my cup of tea. What about you?
Yeah. I'm supposed to be non-biased. His singing is very unique. Let's just put it that way. Very unique singing.
Yeah, through a megaphone, by the way. He had a megaphone singing for it.
Megaphone.
I think it should be on a microphone. I think it'd be much better, but that's my opinion. So we had that great match. We also had, I think it was 2 tag team matches. I think I could be wrong about that. We had Frank the Tank. I think he was in action as well. I think he teamed up. I'm not 100% certain on that. It might have been a singles match.
Congo Crush. Frank the Tank and Congo Crush.
Congo Crush. They did team up. That's right. Against Santana Jackson, wasn't it? He was in action against them. Yeah. And I can't remember his tag team partner now. I apologize for that. But you remember his tag team partner? I think you refereed that, didn't you?
I believe it was Fresco-Matic.
That was it.
He's another big star. Yeah, he's another big star in Big Valley Wrestling who's coming up the ranks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe that was a tag match. It was Frank the Tank and Congo Crush versus Santana Jackson.
Yeah.
Fresco-Matic.
What a phenomenal! Them two are great high flyers, I have to say, and phenomenal talent in BBW, I have to say. And then I can't remember though. I can't remember the first match because the first match was also a tag team match, which was officiated by referee Ben. Can't remember who was in that match, but that was a phenomenal match. However, exciting way to kick it off.
Sky High, yeah, Sky High.
Right.
Those are actually two guys that came up with wrestling, and they're killing it, man. They're killing it in the tag team division, whether it's FSW, Big Valley. So, but yeah, they won the tag titles, and they were just killing it at Big Valley. And I believe that match was against.
Which one did you enjoy the most? By the way, which one did you enjoy the most?
It's really, really hard to pick. That heavyweight title match was a pretty good title match. I enjoyed that. I hated the ending, unfortunately, but I did like that match a lot, and I did like, it's hard. I like most of the matches that Big Valley has because it's literally just a variety of all these up and coming guys, literally just doing so much.
Certainly they are, and as you say, in that match though as well, that heavyweight championship match between Ricky against Big Dirty, there was some controversy because you decided to get in the way of the action, of course, because you want some of the limelight, so you wanted to get in on it. And get you like my terminology, didn't you? Limelight. So then you decided to get knocked out, and then we have a steel chair that comes into the ring, which you don't see, by the way. And then it's referee, as he called himself, the best ref ever, or something like how he called himself, which I don't think is a good catchphrase or gimmick, but that's my own opinion. Noah, his name is, he came running out and grabbed the chair off him and then screwed Ricky out of winning the BBW championship. I'm thinking, whoa, that's a bit cross the line, I think, and I surprised that he didn't get suspended after that, and he deserved what he got, by the way, after the match by Ricky, because he screwed him at the match. It's fair plays. Don't do the crime, don't do the time.
Unfortunately, it's funny that you say limelight. Like, I'm always apparently in the way. That's what the wrestlers like to say, which is their excuse for knocking me out. But I honestly don't remember what happened. I think I just got crushed in the corner. I picked the wrong corner to be in, and it's funny you say chair. I don't remember anything that happened after that. So, ironically.
Do you remember getting DDT'd?
That splash, I remember I just felt the ring shake. I heard a lot of yelling, and so next thing I know, I'm looking up, and I believe Ricky had taken my belt off. Yeah. And it just kind of woke me up, and I see him, just whipping Noah, the ref, and I'm like, this is, regardless of what happened, I watched the footage afterwards. Regardless of what happened, you don't put your hands on an official. So I had to stop him. I'm, a referee too. I don't want that to be happening to me.
No.
So, but, he took it too far and decided to DT an official. So, I left that up to Big Valley management. If it was my thing, Ricky Tenacious would have a lot worse, but,
Yeah. Well, I think you went a bit too far. I do agree. I think using the belt on the referee after the fight, I think it was a bit too far. But I think he deserved the super kick, however. But there we go about that. And of course, during all that chaotic madness going on in that aftermath, your pants got ripped. I don't know, from the footage people I saw, I don't know if you could saw that, but apparently, from what I was told, before we came on the air tonight, that Cody told me that his pants were whipped during that altercation. What happened there? Did Ricky apologize to you, or did he offer to buy you a new pair of pants, or what?
Yeah. So after he decided to, drop me on my head and make a statement, he grabbed. I guess it's a casualty of war,
Yeah.
unofficial. So, what can you say? So.
Well, hopefully he gave you some money for it. Have to go for a new pair of pants. No comment.
Yeah.
No comment. Okay, that's fine. As well, we throughout the show we always plug our guest social media because we think it's important. And around this time, because we don't wait till the end of the video, because I think many people don't wait and watch the entire video. So I like to do this around about halfway through the show, so that people who are watching will realize where they can find you. So for anyone who may be listening to it but not watching it, where can they find you on social media?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Cody Andrews LV. It's all one hashtag, or not hashtag, one username. And I am on Facebook, but I don't go by Cody Andrews. It's kind of a personal Facebook, but if I have met the person, I do let them add me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So if you're interested in following me in my career of getting thrown around and whatnot, or you want to actually see, what matches I have refereed, then you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, and he's got Killer Kross following him on Instagram to keep up what Cody's doing as well. So beware, he's always watching you.
He's watching me. The day he followed me, I was like,
You look wacky.
Awkward. Hope I don't do anything to get him to come after me again.
Yes, definitely, most definitely. I'm glad that many people don't follow me on Instagram. They follow me on Twitter. I don't know why, but they do, but not on Instagram. So it's very funny how some people follow you on Instagram, but then they don't follow you on Twitter as well. So it's very peculiar. I don't if that's the same for you or not, but there we go.
Yeah, I've had a few people, like, I'm honestly not on Twitter as much, so like I just tried to jump back into Twitter, and it's been hard. I have about 200 followers, I think.
You do. I'm one of them. I followed you just the other day, just to show my respect to you and
appreciate it.
To have you on.
Yeah, I'm hardly on Twitter, so like when I do get on there, it's very often, or it's rarely often. But yeah, like I have noticed that, like, I have people, like I have Dave Christ from Impact Wrestling. He follows me on Twitter, and I'll have a few other people follow me on Twitter, but they don't follow me on Instagram. But it's probably all the pics I put of me getting bodied. So they're like, we don't want to see a referee getting destroyed. What's that?
We do again. One of our guests who came on the show a few weeks ago. Again, I created a new playlist now called Celebrity Interviews. I thought, why not? I've had a few celebrities on here before. Cody is one of these celebrities because he's been on national TV, doing bizarre things on national TV, and we hope to see more of you on national TV. But you know this person. We discussed the name off the air a minute ago. So this came in from Myra Diaz Gomez. She came on the show a few weeks ago. If you've not seen it, go into those celebrities playlist. You see it on there, one of the first, and her interview was fantastic. Very, very, very friendly, very open on her story. It's fantastic, just like you are as well. And she wanted me to ask you this question. She wanted to know. So she said, "Ask him from me. What has been the best part about learning at FSW?" That's what she wants to know.
The best part about learning at FSW has definitely been there's, like, I said this earlier, there's so much talent that comes in and out of Future Stars of Wrestling. So whether we have Sin Bodie, D'Lo Brown, Jake the Snake Roberts, Kenny King, they are just like incredible coaches.
Thank God. Like God to you, aren't they?
Like, yeah, no, like D'Lo Brown, Kenny Kingston, Bodie, even Jake, like they all have helped me in a way mold me to who I am when I'm in that ring. And they've literally helped me so much. And there's also been other junior coaches at Future Stars Wrestling. Cutthroat Cody Hancock literally has helped me so much with my career, whether it's being in the ring, you know, whether I'm refereeing or if I'm even like having practice matches. He's literally helped me immensely, and I like literally owe him so much for that. And I'm sure Myra can attest to that. And we've even had seminars. I've had the opportunity to be at seminars for Juventud Guerrera, Ted DiBiase recently, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Lance Hoyt, like literally so many stars. MVP, like I have to go through all the names of who I've luckily been able to be around. So, and Future Stars Wrestling has given us that opportunity to be able to be around so much star power and so much knowledge over the last, you know, something years in wrestling, to where they can help the next generation build their brand, whether they're being a referee or a wrestler or a valet manager, whatever it is. It's literally incredible.
It is. It's incredible, and I hope it continues as well. And I hope that you become a trainer soon as well, and help give your knowledge and advice to the next generation. And in the description below, I put a question about what advice you would give to somebody who is maybe thinking of joining the world of pro wrestling, as maybe as a referee or a valet, or even a wrestler. What would be your advice?
I would say when you're starting out, whether it is being a wrestler or a referee, ironically, I think it's best for everybody to, you know, referee a few matches, because I feel like a lot of wrestlers start out, you know, very eager and just excited, and I think a lot of them forget that when you're in a match, you have rules. And I noticed that is the problem with a lot of matches nowadays. Are, you know, wrestlers are going into matches and they just want to do all these moves, and they're not acknowledging that there's a referee there to admonish or you know, put those rules into place, and they just kind of walk all over the refs. So I feel like a lot of people starting out in wrestling, I feel like it's very important for them to get the idea of what it is to be a referee. Because a lot of people, I'll see it, they'll say, oh yeah, I can referee, it's not a problem, you know, it's so easy, can't believe the referee didn't do his job, just count to three. Like, I hear that so often, and I'm like, if only you knew how it's just as much work to be in the ring as a referee than it is to, you know, like, not wrestle, but just being in that ring. And it's a lot of work, you know, putting in a 20-minute match, that is a workout in its own. So I hope anyone who's wanting to pursue their dreams, just start anywhere you can, get your foot in the door. If you have to valet, just valet, enjoy it, be a manager. Like, honestly, managing is fun. Like, I did it a few times. It's really cool.
Have you know? Okay.
Yeah, I gave my try in it. You know, it probably wasn't the best, but, you know, hey, to each to their own. So, yeah. But I feel like that's the best way to just learn, is just, like, I honestly have learned so much when it comes to wrestling just by being in the ring and refereeing. Like, I can probably say most of my experience was from learning through being a ref and not being a wrestler, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it does. And as you say as well, many people go straight into wrestling and they've never done refereeing, and then at some point they might become injured or they might have a career change, and when they do referee they think, wow, this is a tough job, and they have more respect to the referees as well. I've seen that many times on social media where I see where somebody has either changed career and became a referee, or they got injured and they became a referee for the meantime until they get cleared, and every time I see it is that they have more respect for the referee in the business of pro wrestling. So it's good to see that, but I think more people need to maybe practice being a referee, maybe in training or something, to get the idea what's in the role of what the referee does in the ring. Instead of that he does that to count the 1, 2, 3, or a submission or a count out, there's more to it, isn't there?
Absolutely. Like I honestly feel like you learn a lot more when it comes to refereeing when you're actually doing it, and then also when you're wrestling. Like I can guarantee those who have had practice matches and refereeing or whatever it is, when you go to Impact or you go to WWE, if they're not looking for a wrestler that day, well, maybe they're looking for a referee. Well,
Yeah.
there you go. You have the both worlds. So you're getting your experience in the ring, and it may not be having matches, but when you're having matches, you're gonna know what the referee's looking for when you're having these matches, and that making sure that you're listening to him. Like a lot of people are on the outside and they're not listening to the referee count because it's not cognizant to them. But when you are a referee, you know what you need to do in that match to stay within the rules.
Yeah.
And if you don't care about the rules, then there goes your match, unfortunately.
Most definitely, and we'd love to hear your opinions and thoughts on if you agree with what Cody said about his advice, or if you got any other points, and get in touch with us either in the comment section below or on Twitter or Instagram by tagging Cody Andrews LV and Las Vegas, if you didn't know what LV stands for, after his social medias. And which cities outside of Las Vegas would you love to referee in?
I feel like I want to do California more.
Okay,
before everything started, I had interest in checking out championship wrestling from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Referee Ben at Big Valley, he started working out there, and I know they have so much talent coming from there. And also championship wrestling from Arizona. They're just awesome places to be, I feel.
Yeah. He wants to be Mr. Hollywood now. He wants to go to California. He wants to be a California guy there, instead of going like maybe, I don't know, Florida. Because most people say Florida because it's all about the lovely weather, the beaches, and the lovely ladies. But not for Cody. He wants to go to California to be a movie star. Now, on the sidelines as well, I must have to say, I must have to plug it because I feel disrespectful if I don't. So when you're not in the ring, you also like to go to these Comic Cons, I think, or some of these wonderful events where it's cosplay or something like that it's called, and you dress up as Arrow. I'm guessing you're a big fan of Arrow. Tell us more about cosplay, and what is cosplay, and what inspired you to be a part of it?
So with cosplay, I was lucky enough to be welcomed into a group of cosplayers here out in Las Vegas, where we go to different events, whether it's helping kids who don't have enough for school, or going to events where people are just trying to enjoy their day. And I actually had a friend of mine from wrestling. He's a photographer. He got me into cosplaying because if you go on my Instagram, I had dressed up as Arrow for like 3 years for Halloween back to back. And I was, that's how dedicated I am to the show. And just it's one of my favorite like live action characters. And I was on eBay one day and I just saw this suit and I was like, wow, $60. Like cosplay costumes, believe it or not, go up to like $200. Like they're very expensive, just depending on the material it's made with. Just like with wrestling attire, like it can be expensive. And so I was like, well, I've already done it 3 years in a row for Halloween, but hey, $60, that's not really much of a loss. So I bought it, and my friend was like, hey man, I love your costume. I think you'd be great fit to come out to this event. And my first cosplay event was helping children, with they don't have enough when it comes to school, whether it's clothes or supplies. And it was a very unique experience to walk through that door and have all these kids light up saying, "Oh my God, it's Arrow! It's the Green Arrow!" And they'll say, "Can I shoot your arrows and bows?" I'm like, let's be careful and not shoot anyone's eye out. But it's been a cool experience over the last year to be able to dress up as one of my favorite characters and live vicariously through that, and be able to, bring a smile to these kids' faces and even these adults' faces. Like, I've had adults come up to me and they're like, "Dude, your suit looks so awesome." And I'm like, I like appreciate that, because that's what I'm trying to project to these, fans of cosplaying, that, oh man, they like the real deal, just like when I'm in the ring. So it's been a blast to be able for the last year to cosplay, and it's been one of those things where I really, really enjoy being able to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, hopefully it'll carry on to do it, hopefully more, hopefully this year at some point, and cheering up children, either maybe virtually, like on a video call or something. They might do a virtual cosplay or something event. I'm just guessing. Might not be a thing yet. If it's not, there's your idea. But I mean, it's a great idea, and it puts smiles on children's faces and even adult faces as well, because everyone's a good fan of Arrow. Great show on the CW network, I believe it's on in America. There you go. See, I know all the networks. I know too much about America. I need to get back into the UK. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I have to say. I'm just reading up in my descriptions. So yes, how are you coping then in lockdown? I'm guessing Las Vegas is in that lockdown, like the rest of us in the UK and around the world.
We're not there yet,
okay.
But who knows? I think we're on like week 3 or 4, and it's been rough, but it's pretty much just being aware of what's going on in the world and not going out when you should be staying home. Like, I will occasionally go to my park that's right next to our apartment, and me and my girlfriend will run, and do laps, and we'll do squats and jumping jacks just to keep ourselves, active. Because if we just sat at home and did nothing while this quarantine was happening, like, who knows? So but we're trying to be very aware of everybody, because my thing is, if I were to get sick, I know I can handle it. I know my immune system would get me through it. But I have loved ones, I have family that, their immune system's probably not the best. So if I went out my way to go see them, as much as I love them and I want to see them, same with my friends, I'm doing a disservice to me and everybody else if I'm possibly spreading whatever is going around. So I'm just trying to be cognizant, and it's hard, man, just staying at home. Luckily, we have these 2 days of WrestleMania to get us through this, which is, pretty awesome for the WWE to still put on shows, considering everything going on with a lot of those people wanting to be at home with their families and not having to expose themselves, especially like essential workers. My mom, she works at Albertsons, and she has to be around this, and it's scary. So I'm hoping that this clears up within the next month.
Yes, fingers crossed. Who knows? But we can all hope for the best. Now, speaking about WrestleMania, of course, yesterday, Dana White and Vince McMahon and some other people were apparently on a conference call. Now, I don't know how true the story is, by the way, but it was trending on Twitter. Vince was trending on Twitter last night, earlier this morning, saying that Donald Trump, your U.S. president, getting the job done. I don't want to say. I just love him. He's a great person, I think. But he told them that he expects big crowds to gather again by August/September of this year. Is when we could see returns of crowds inside of venues and UFC events and wrestling events and stuff like that. Quite a while away, though, if that is the case. But I'm hoping it'll be a bit sooner than that. But we have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that they want to do more live events, or they want to do live events again, possibly in May. I don't know with how everything is going. I don't even know when we're going to be able to have shows again.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I feel like right now with what's going on, staying home is the best thing about it, because like it's whatever it is, it's just COVID-19 is super contagious, so I feel like just staying home right now is the best way to keep everybody from exposure to this. So I mean, if we do shows in September, hopefully everything has come back from this.
Yeah, fingers crossed about that. Of course, luckily you're not alone in your apartment. You've got your cats as well, and your girlfriend to keep you company as well. And before all of this happened, did you see much of your girlfriend, or are you seeing more of her now?
Yeah, we work together, and we work out together, and we live together. So yeah, we see each other very often.
Okay. And
this quarantine gives us time to spend time with each other. Or I'll be on the couch and she'll be laying in bed, and then we'll swap places, or then we'll, it's just kind of keeping ourselves busy because we're trapped in this apartment. But we try to make the most out of it, and we have our cats to bring us entertainment. We have video games, all that. We work out together, so it's keeping our brain stimulated. It's just trying to stay active and just stay positive in this tough time, because I feel like a lot of people, I have a lot of friends, a lot of wrestlers who I work with, that this is affecting them a lot. Like I have so many friends that have lost their jobs because of this, and their only source of income or any chance of doing wrestling was through that job. So it's really hard, and I'm hoping that this will turn around, because it's hard to see your friends and your coworkers, your colleagues lose their only source of income and not be able to do the one thing that they love to do, which is wrestling.
Most definitely. And we're going to shift this topic again over to training. You say working out and such. So it means, how do you keep yourself fit in the ring when you're refereeing? Because I know you don't have big guns, but I'm guessing if you wanted to, you could have big guns if you wanted to. But I mean, that might make you look more powerful than you should be. That's my guess, but I don't know. You can explain that.
I mean, I've tried. The one problem I've had is I have such a high metabolism. So whatever I eat, within the next hour, it's out my body. And unfortunately, like I can keep weight, but like if I'm not staying in the gym constantly, as much as I should be, I lose weight. And I think when I got into my car accident a few years ago, I literally dropped back down to my high school weight, was like 130. And I'm sure a lot of people are like, what? Like, I'm a very skinny guy. Like, I may be, as fit as I may look, but I try to put on as much weight as I can, and I'm trying, and I feel like right now with everything happening and going on, I feel like everybody's just trying to keep in shape, because when they want to come back to wrestling, they want to come back and feel a shell of what they used to look like. So everybody's just trying to stay active and work out. I try. I've been doing my laps at the park. I've been doing my squats and my push-ups, and I've been just trying to stay active. And we actually have been able to be lucky enough. Snake Pit Pro Wrestling has a Facebook page, and where they're literally welcoming any wrestler, any manager, any referee, valet who wants to still be able to learn in this time that's happening, that you can join the page. They'll ask you a few questions about where you've worked, how many places you've been to, whatever the case. You answer those questions, and we literally have so much knowledge in this page. Sin Bodie, Tom Pritchard, so many people who have been in and out of wrestling, and it's insane. And I feel like if you are if you're a wrestler or manager or anything, you definitely need to be in this. And I know a lot of the wrestlers are trying to keep fans active in this time. Like I know one of our trainers, Sin Bodie, he's releasing a thing called Sindiculousness, ironically, and it's just crazy truths or facts about things he's encountered, and that's supposed to help fans get through this rough time. So I feel like right now everybody just surviving and just trying to keep up with this thing going on.
Yeah, most absolutely. And of course, I had to say as well, Simbody does follow me on Twitter. I have to say, I have to point that out. I don't know how he came across me, but he followed me first. And when he did follow me first, I did not know who he was. I had to do some digging to find out what he was and who he was, and I found out he did work for WWE and stuff. And then I found out, okay, cool guy. So I pulled him back. But I mean, he's a cool guy. I've DM'd him a few times about doing something with yourself, but it didn't work out because he's a very busy guy. But hopefully, maybe one day we can have him on the show. If he does see my DM, I have DM'd him about being on my show because he doesn't have an email I can contact him at. But there we go. Maybe one day we get him on the show.
No, he is honestly very, very knowledgeable, and behind all the crazy clown paint, like he's helped me so much through my career. He's always been very positive. He's gotten me opportunities on shows, and he is somebody I owe my career to, because I wouldn't be at FSW if it weren't for me being at his school. So I feel like he is definitely somebody to pick his brain and learn so much knowledgeable things when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy from my interaction with him on Twitter and such, and he seems like a cool guy in the locker room as well, very friendly, approachable as well, if you know him personally. So that's a good thing as well. But of course, when he's in the arena, when he's in the ring, he means business, and he's quite a scary, unpredictable kind of guy. Who would you suggest me to get in contact with next to come on this show? I love asking this question.
I'm sorry.
I loved asking this question to find out what the guests think. This is like.
I feel like anyone training at FSW right now, like Sky High, Primo Popol, like he is those guys I started training with, and literally we've just bonded so much. Fresco-Matic. Like, all these guys could literally just tell you how they started, where their goal is, where they want to be when they are on this journey. There's so much rising talent in Las Vegas that I could say The Shade, one of my good friends, Sandra Moon, Shaggy McLovin. Like, I literally can run down a list of how many talented people in Las Vegas there are that you should do this interview with, because you probably get so much footage you wouldn't know what to do with it. Like, these guys and gals literally are brothers and sisters to me, and they literally have helped me so much through my career as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Some good suggestions there, and we'll try my best to see who would be interested coming on the show, on the Fowler show. I have to say this as well, we are bringing on the first British guest on the show. Right, the first British guest. We've gone 4 months without bringing anyone from the UK. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. We're bringing on somebody from the UK this coming Wednesday, 6 p.m. BST. It'll be announced on my social media tomorrow. I can't wait to see who it is. He's good friends with the John Schuyler, who we had on the show back in, I believe, February. He's friends with Dash Wilder as well, who actually did a blooper with me on Bouchermania when he fell over the stage on SmackDown. Did you see that on Fox a few months ago?
I think I did. I think I remember that.
He fell on his back ass and laughed it off, but I mean, it must have hurt.
He covered it well.
He did, but I mean, it must have hurt. Have you had any bouchers in your time as referee?
Oh, absolutely. I've landed pretty hard several times, and even in the ring, like if I've fallen or whatever the case is, you just got to get up and show goes on. Just keep going.
Pretend it never happened, kind of thing.
You have to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, luckily, it's not made it onto Bouncer Mania yet, but you never know. They do free some indie wrestling sometimes, so you never know. You might make it on there one day.
I'm sure. I'm pretty sure I'm probably on one of those videos
Really?
already.
Wow.
Not. Hey, I try to stay professional and I try to watch what I'm doing.
Oh, I know.
I'm sure it's happened once or twice where I've slipped up and somebody's caught that on footage and decided to send it in. So hey,
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised if I get one in the next few months or so.
True, yeah, because your ring was, which is understandable. There'd be loads of Bouncer Manias happening when we come back to wrestling, won't there? There'd be loads, I was speaking to somebody the other day about how maybe wrestlers might be more buffed than they were beforehand. They might have been jobbers back then, but when they come back, when things went to normal, they might be buffed and championship material. Could you see that happening? Imagine that happens. Imagine these jobbers come back as buff guys and be championship material. That'd be huge.
Whatever you got to do during this time. Honestly, I've seen videos of people just working out in front of their apartments, working out their house. Like, people have gone out and bought weight equipment. Some people have rings. So
Wow.
I'd be surprised of how much, training people are able to get in right now.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, Cody. Have you enjoyed it, and will you come back on again?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, that's great to hear. Before you go, though, before we hang this up, I want to say this as well. You can expect Cody at some point in the future. We don't know when, but when he does, we'll announce it here. We will show you the footage of him on AEW, either a pay-per-view or on Dynamite at some point in the future. Again, on the big TNT network on ITV4 every Friday night at 11:50 p.m.-ish, or on the Fight Network live at 1 a.m. UK time. And when we did this, of course, I reached out to you yesterday. I know we were going to do this, weren't we, at some point this week. But I didn't hear from you, so I thought I'll just message you saying, are you free tomorrow, which is today? And then you said yes. And then I was up most of the night, back and forth with you. So I was up from 3 o'clock my time, which is about, I don't know what time it was you. 8 hours from that would be what? 2, 1, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7 p.m. your time. Communicating the times and making sure you knew what time and such like that. So, yes, I was up half the night discussing stuff with you. So that's what I do. I don't really sleep. I'm always thinking of guests and wrestling and such. So there you go. Never sleep. Are you pretty much the same like that? Because I know you were up most of the night as well, weren't you? Like midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
I work at school, so my schedule is I have to be up early anyways. So I try to go to sleep as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be like 10 o'clock my time. But with everything going on, I've been kind of staying up late, just enjoying life while I can, and just waking up. Like I woke up at like 11 o'clock today because I could.
That was a good time. That was a good time, wasn't it? Imagine you'd wake up at
7 o'clock, then I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy waking up early. I'm not a morning person.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, there we go. Now in the background, and because on the actual video, I think people can see my bags under my eyes, so I just want to make people aware that I haven't done anything naughty.
Too. I hear you, man.
Yeah. Cody's got bags in his eyes as well because he's not getting enough sleep. He was worrying about this whole thing in the world. But again, stay on the phone. And again, tomorrow, my time, about 8 o'clock in the morning, my time, it'll be about, what, 2 o'clock in the morning your time, I think? Or 1 o'clock in the morning?
I think so.
I'll be announcing my next guest on the Edward Fowler Show live on my Instagram and Twitter. So tune into both of them. You can find me on Twitter _Edward Fowler_ and also Edward Fowler Show on Instagram. And I appreciate you for following me back on Instagram as well. When I announced it that you're on my show today, I announced it this morning because I thought if I did it at 3 o'clock in the morning, you might have thought it might be in that evening your time because our difference. I waited till like 8 a.m. my time when I knew it was like midnight your time before I announced it.
Yeah, And I saw it, and I was like, okay, like, I'll have a few people add me or follow me, and I don't know who they are. And
Yeah.
I realized, I was like, oh, okay, this is awesome. And so I appreciative to be on the show. It was honestly a lot of fun.
It was, and again, we were going to this a few years ago, and then I think you denied, and then cause I remember something years ago. You said I think you were like busy because you're quite a busy guy, so I think you weren't had time to do it. So if you remember that,
Yeah.
You do, yeah.
I briefly do, yeah. I honestly, it was around the time I was just starting out, and
Gotcha.
I was working. I literally had so many jobs. Like, I was doing 2 jobs. I was doing cosplay. I was doing wrestling. I was taking care of everything. So I apologize. Unfortunately, but I feel like time right now is perfect to do this.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I felt like everything came into place.
It did, and that's what I thought. I'll reach back out to you to see if maybe you may have had a bit more free time, or things change, don't they, all the time. So I thought, why not just ask you again? And it was a good answer you gave, and I'm glad that we're able to have you back on again soon at some point. But yeah, to anyone who's watching this, stay safe. And until the next episode, which will be live on YouTube again this coming Wednesday. Every episode is live. You can go way back to June of last year when we first did it. Back then with Mike the Truth Jackson, UFC fighter back then. That's our first ever live episode. So we have some of the best people on. And I got one more question for you, actually. Now, you were on a show back, I think, like November maybe. And it was called, I can't remember what the name of the show was. It was called, like, something house, I think, or end of the show, something like after show or something it was called, with a few other people, and you were on there for an interview, which was like a 10-minute interview, I think it was, and then they asked you at the end of the video to do a promo on the camcorder, and they hit you with a belt. I just want to ask you, how was you after that? Were you okay? Because it kind of hurt.
I mean, it was sorry. Yeah, it was the Go Home show.
The Go Home show. I knew it was something at home.
Go Home show. Yeah, a few of my friends asked me to be on the show, and they just same thing, asking me questions. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, they were like, cut a promo, and I'm like, all right, well, I can do that. And as soon as I'm doing that, I was like, all right, this is going on way too long. What do you want me else? And the next thing, I'm getting clocked in the back with an actual title belt. It wasn't one of those children plastic. It was actual metal title belt across my back.
Yeah, not good.
I was
not
like,
good.
All right, that hurt.
But you weren't expecting it though, no? It wasn't pre-planned.
No, that was all right there on the spot. He was like, I want you to go cut a promo. I had no idea what was going on. Next thing I know, clocking me in the back of the head. I'm like, all right.
Well, you sold it very well anyway. That's what I thought just to ask, because you did sell it very well. So there we go. Just want to add that in before we end this tonight. Here on the Edward Fowler Show on Sunday, the 5th of March. I actually called it the 5th of March early on in the day. Don't know why. I just thought it was the 5th of March for some reason. It's not March, it's April, summertime. Ooh. I see we getting as well people in comments right now. Mrs. Peculiar. Carl Barber, welcome to the show. He says, how life in self-isolation? Well, it's doing quite well. As you can see, I've moved out from Manchester, UK. I moved away to Las Vegas. Lovely scenery. Only joking. I'm not really actually left in Las Vegas. But if you watch this back, Cody, by the way, tell me whereabouts this place is in Las Vegas, where my backdrop is, okay? I would love to know whereabouts it is, because I don't know whereabouts it is. I typed in Las Vegas and it brought this backdrop, and I thought, okay, looks gorgeous. Let's have it for my show. Make it look like an evening show, but there we go. But yeah, until the next episode drop, which will be this Wednesday, live on YouTube at 6 p.m. BST. The person will be announced tomorrow. He's best friends with John Schuyler and the Dash Wild of the world. He's a great guy. He's a New York Jets fan as well. Are you an American football fan?
Not really into sports, ironically.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Wrestling's a sport. So it means you're a wrestling fan in that aspect, but no other sports. So fair enough. Straight into ones that I like it.
Honestly, I've always been a wrestling kind of guy. I've never really been into sports. It's been hard for me to follow, football, basketball, baseball. I've played them, but I've never really watched it that much.
Yeah, not a problem. But there we go. The New York Jets, man. Worst team, I think. The Las Vegas Raiders are better than the New York Jets. And I'll be debating with him on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. on Hump Day Wednesday, by the way. I love it. And to Andrew Carroll, I'm doing fine. I am enjoying live isolation. I don't have the virus. I've not had it yet. I'm being very careful in supermarkets because that's the only time I go out. Is at supermarkets once a week, every Thursday. Crikey. Well, yes. What did you say? I didn't hear.
I said we want to say at all. We don't want to say yet.
Yeah.
We want to at all. We're not
at all. Well, I do hope you keep safe as well, and in your location, and to all your friends as well. I hope they keep safe and keep well, and to all my fans and friends as well. Keep safe and keep well, and keep your distance 6 feet. Which is about 2 meters apart. Do that because many people do not do that. You'd be surprised how many people here in the UK who do not understand this. It's put up on shop notifications around the floor, and people do not stick to it. They like just to do their own business. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I might buy a megaphone and start singing to him, saying, "Do a wiki singing contest in the shop." That might get their attention. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, we're going to end this now. Back on Wednesday. The guests will be announced tomorrow. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon or evening, like it is here in the UK. Just stay on the phone. I want to discuss something with you about maybe doing like a video for my next Open, if that makes sense. I'll discuss it with you in a moment. Is that okay?
That sounds good.
Cool. Okay.